The 12th WTO Ministerial Conference is set to be held in Nur-Sultan in summer of 2020. According to the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Roberto Azevedo, hosting and chairing the large-scale event is a challenge for any hosting country. However, the Kazakh capital offers the infrastructure required for the success of the international event.
I actually was in Nur-Sultan recently. And I took a look at the facilities, talked to people who are organizing the logistics of the meeting. And I think as far as logistics, facilities are concerned, I'm very happy with what I have seen. Also the substance, what we are preparing to hopefully agree by the 12th Ministerial Conference. So we are looking at very traditional and long-standing issues like agriculture, food security, and we are also working on more recent issues.
After acceding to the WTO, Kazakhstan has immediately become one of the most active members of the large international organization. The country chaired a meeting of the Trade and Environment Committee in 2017 and a meeting of the Special Session on Trade in Service, which was held last year.
Очень важно, что мы возглавили сессию глобальных переговоров, прежде всего для того, чтобы
It is very important that we chair the global negotiations session, which ensures equal competition. We are also interested in promoting openness in other economies as well. Ahead of the 12th Ministerial Conference, which will be held in the city of Nur-Sultan from June 8th to 11th, 2020, it is very important to adopt certain decisions aimed at the development and preservation of the multilateral trade system. In particular, we think that a decision will be made to start the multilateral negotiating process in the electronic commerce field to ensure that the WTO meets modern challenges and reality.
Электронной коммерции для того, чтобы ВТО соответствовало современным вызовам и реалиям.
With completion of negotiations on the WTO accession in 2015, Kazakhstan finished preparations to sign the Enhanced Partnership and Cooperation Agreement with the EU. Significant part of the agreement covers matters such as investment, business and trade relations with the EU countries, which are attributed to the half of the total volume of Kazakhstan's foreign trade.
Все наши договоренности.
All our agreements with the EU are fully compliant with and meet our commitments that we adopted as part of the WTO accession. We also coordinated our agreements with the Eurasian Economic Union.
С положениями и политикой Евразийского экономического союза.
The WTO accession opened new prospects for Kazakhstan as $67 billion of foreign direct investments were attracted in the Kazakh economy since joining the organization. 1/3 of investments were allocated to develop services including trade, distribution, construction, transport, logistics, and financial services. Astana International Financial Center is one of the most attractive Islamic finance platforms in the region. The financial institution is cooperating with the Islamic Development Bank to create a legal and regulatory framework. The AFC also provides masterclass trainings offered by various IDB entities in the Kazakh capital. At the sessions, discussions are made on the required Islamic finance tools that can be used to develop the private sector in the Organization of Islamic Cooperation member countries and exchange information on the latest innovations. Experts said that Kazakhstan's Islamic finance experience is being explored throughout Central Asia.
The purpose is to bring together practitioners and different stakeholders of the Islamic finance industry who have an interest in the Central Asian region to use the platform of Astana International Financial Center, which is an independent English common law based platform. It allows customers, users, supply and demand side to be able to benefit from an impartial, independent legal regulatory system. Now Uzbekistan is looking at Kazakhstan's model. So you can see we have created the precedent.
It became much easier to obtain visas. There are a lot of foreigners working here. The Islamic Development Bank operates in 56 countries. We obtained visas within a day through AIFC. This event was attended by representatives of not only Kazakhstan but other Central Asian countries as well, such as Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and other Islamic countries. Islamic finance is one of the most rapidly growing sectors. The industry's worth is estimated at more than $2.5 trillion and the value is expected to increase up to $3.8 trillion by 2023. Green technologies are actively used in the capital of Kazakhstan. Pedestrian crossings, street lights, and bus stops work based on the energy of the sun and wind in the main city of the country. 2 years ago, local authorities developed a comprehensive plan for the development of the green technologies. According to the calculations of the mayor's office, nearly 20 million tenge can be saved per year due to the renewable energy sources. We launched this pilot project in 2017. The city's 2 streets were upgraded to solar lighting in order to show people how effective and beautiful the city is. This can work synchronously in urban settings. People can also charge their phones and laptops using the alternative energy. Residents and guests of the capital can charge their phones sitting on a bench at a park or in a warm bus stop. The device receives electricity from the sun and wind. Entire areas are fully transformed to renewable energy sources. For example, the Park of Lovers has a so-called tree with wind generators which provides lighting. Today, we can say that our system works like a clock. We have a fully built system of heat and electricity. In total, over the years of the capital's formation, the output of heat supply has increased almost more than 2 times thanks to modernization of heat sources. For example, we used to have around 1,200 gigacalories per hour. Today, we have more than 2,500 gigacalories per hour. The work on transition to alternative energy sources do not end here. In the meantime, the total power of all renewable energy sources is 1 megawatt per hour. Government bodies have learned to save energy as well. Solar panels ensure that metropolitan utilities significantly reduce energy costs. For example, a new flower-shaped mosque is a huge and complex building with zero energy consumption. It uses solar panels that produce 3 times more of the required level of the energy. They cover all costs of electricity. The European Union has launched a program to promote the green economy transition in Central Asia. Bishkek hosted a presentation of the document developed by representatives of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. A work plan has been defined in the document for the next 3 years. As part of the program, the countries intend to develop national strategies for a green economy as well as to initiate implementation of significant environmental programs. As part of the program, 5 Central Asian countries will have the support of experts from the Sustainable Consumption and Production Fund. The Asian Development Bank will allocate $30.5 million for construction of a solar power plant in Kazakhstan. The project will be one of the largest solar energy projects in Central Asia. The power plant, with a capacity of 100 megawatts, will be located near the Shu town in the Jambil region. The plant's area will be 500 hectares. The power station will be commissioned by the end of this year. The plant will also help Kazakhstan meet its obligations under the Paris Agreement on climate change by reducing its carbon emissions. Topics of attracting Chinese investments in Tajikistan's economy were discussed in Beijing. The parties highlighted that the investments will be spent on development of tourism infrastructure and processing of agricultural products. China is one of the main partners of the Central Asian Republic. China has allocated over $479 million to finance Tajikistan's state investment projects. A treasure was found in one of the old buildings in the center of Tashkent. The discovered items include works written in ancient Turkic, German, Arabic, French, Latin, and English, as well as historical documents, maps, religious manuscripts, icons, parts of the microscope, as well as gold, silver, and bronze coins. The unique items will be included into the exhibits of the State Museum of History of Uzbekistan and will be presented as a separate exhibition. fish products from Kyrgyzstan gain more popularity in foreign markets. Up to 3 tons of trout are being delivered to various regions in Kazakhstan from the village of Chon Oroktu every month. The products will also soon be exported to Russia. Russian entrepreneurs are requesting for more than 1,000 tons of fish, or at least 720 tons. However, our farm doesn't have enough capacity to meet the demand. The capacities are planned to be increased and production volumes will also be expanded at the farm. It is one of the largest trout farms in Kyrgyzstan. There are over 80,000 trout in 29 basins. A separate incubator is also installed to grow juvenile fish. We use glacier melt water to grow the juvenile fish. The water flows here from the mountains. Experts said that the region is strategically located for fish farming activities due to the natural conditions such as clean water, fresh air and comfortable weather. The farmers believe that they will be able to increase the production of trout and export higher volumes if they unite their efforts. They are currently working on boosting their output and sales. The second part of the Kyele, Kazakhstan's horse expedition ended on Lake Kayinde. It started on July 1st in Almaty. A group of 25 riders traveled 150 kilometers, passing through rivers, mountains, passages, and tracks of the region. The travelers' route passed through Isik, Bear Falls, and the Turgen River. The final destination was Lake Kayinde. According to the results of 2 directions of the expedition, equestrian routes along the most picturesque places of Kazakhstan will be developed. Tour operators are eager to include this type of product in their proposals for travelers.
Когда мы говорим о шелковом пути, то весь путь как раз-таки проходил тоже по нашей территории. Весь путь проходил вот на таком виде.
When it comes to the Silk Road, the entire route almost passed through our territory, and it was designed for this type of transport. The interest in this kind of tourism is growing steadily. Equestrian tourism is part of ecotourism. Ecotourism is such a fast-growing trend in the world. The equestrian tourism combines 2 of them and even mutually exclusive things. It is an aristocratic sport and at the same time a nomad's lifestyle.
Вид спорта с одной стороны. С другой стороны, это быт кочевника.
As part of the new humanitarian education, 100 new textbooks in Kazakh project, another 30 books will be translated in Almaty this year. More than 300 Kazakh specialists are involved in the project. Members of the National Bureau of Translations believe that the publications will help improve the quality of education and introduce international scientific terms in Kazakh. 48 books have been translated from English into Kazakh in 2 years. The works have been selected based on several criteria, as they should be part of the educational program of the world's 100 leading universities, republished at least 3 times and meet the modern requirements.
Қазірдің өзінде ұлттық аударма бюросының
The majority of the books are related to arts, particularly cinema and music. Since the start of the project, the Kazakh language has been improved as 10,000 loan words, terms and definitions were introduced.
ұғымдары, түсініктері, баламалары пайда болды. Бұл да үлкен жетістік деп ойлаймын.
An exhibition of young artists, Daois, was opened in the capital. Works of the Amplitude creative group represent art without borders, rampant imagination and a sharp mind. This is a professional team of artists who have received recognition both in Kazakhstan and abroad. At the exhibition, visitors can see the latest works of the authors. Each piece is unique in its style and technique. Artist Naira Tumanyan is one of the team members. She is also a member of the Eurasian Union of Designers. She is an art critic who organizes her solo exhibitions around the world. Naira arrived in Kazakhstan from Armenia by special invitation in 2014. Today, she works closely with Astana Opera. This is an explosion of emotions. This is an explosion of a palette that I feel emotionally in Kazakhstan, Nur Sultan. The wind, the sun and the blue sky give me these feelings. In the Art Deco style, I imagine all these sensations, my thinking and my love for the city of Nur Sultan.
свою любовь к городу Нур-Султан.
Бұл жерде бір-біріне ұқсамайтын 4 суретшілердің туындылары қойылған. Оларды ең
Here are the works of 4 artists differing from each other. The desire for color unites them all. As you can see, emotional and expressive works with rich colors are presented here. They express the inner flame and the power of youth.
жалынды жастардың қуатын көрсететін бір эмоцияға толы туындылар.
The exhibition was organized as part of the Year of Youth. The artists have a lot of creative plans. Soon they will present their creative works in Germany. Mukagali Makatayev's melodrama Farewell Love premiered in the Metropolitan Nomad Theatre. This is a story of people who fell in love with each other in a big city. The director of the performance is honored worker of Kazakhstan, Sailau Kamiev. Young actors Ayan Tomanov, Gaukhar Zenisova and Meruet Kwantayeva starred in the melodrama. The performance impressed spectators. The audience had an opportunity to enjoy the immortal creations of famous writer Mukagali Makatayev. The director admits that the work written in 1988 has not lost its relevance until today.
Соңғы кезде негізі көп қойылмай кеткен дүние болатын. Соны біз
This work hasn't been staged for a long time. This is why we decided to include it in our repertoire. We believe that the production deserves attention because this topic is very relevant for our young people and our crew could make it.
Актерлық құрамға бұл енді оң жамбасынан келген дүние болды.
Бұл рөлді алған кезде мен өте қатты қобалжыдым себебі Банудың рөлін.
When I got this role, I was a little worried. The character of Banu is not simple. It requires a lot of work and dedication. This is my first experience of playing a major role. What I like in this character is that she is very close to me in terms of spirit. She is a very beautiful and soft math teacher who has just graduated from the institute.
Жақында ғана пединститутты бітірген математика пәнінің мұғалімі.
Famous ballet by Yuri Grigorovich, The Legend of Love, was staged in Nur-Sultan. The 3-act ballet, which is based on music by Arif Melikov, was premiered in the capital. The play is based on an ancient Persian legend which tells the love story between Queen Mekhmene Banu and court artist Ferhat. The team of Astana Ballet has been preparing for the premiere for 5 months. A group of specialists from Russia was involved in the production, providing technical assistance to their Kazakh colleagues.
Какие-то живописные декорации делались в Москве, там декорации, костюмы.
Some landscape decorations and costumes were made in Moscow. However, the largest part of decorations was made here. There are difficult technical solutions involving various mechanisms in this production. Local specialists are outstanding professionals who worked wonderfully to provide technical support and properties for the performance.
Бутафорию, реквизит на очень высоком, хорошем профессиональном уровне.
207 costumes were created for the performance. The costumes are exact replicas of outfits created by the famous Simon Virsaladze for the first premiere of The Legend of Love in 1961. Every costume was made and embroidered by hand based on the original design.
Этот спектакль и костюмы имеют свои паспорта, в которых зафиксировано.
There are certain design certificates for the outfits for this performance, which include the color range and materials for each costume. It is absolutely impossible to change or modify the colors of the materials.
Даже цвет нитки в этих костюмах категорически невозможно.
The Legend of Love is an emotional and extremely vibrant play. Every scene is infused with dramatic events which unfold within the love triangle of Shirin, Ferhat and Mekhmene Banu, who are ready to sacrifice a lot in order to protect their feelings.
Царица жертвует своей красотой ради здоровья и жизни своей сестренки.
The queen sacrifices her beauty for her younger sister to restore health and stay alive, and it is not easy for a woman to lose her beauty, and only few women would make a similar sacrifice. In order to interpret these events, I imagine the same feelings in front of the mirror. It is very devastating. The ballet is spectacular.
Зеркалу и тоже это воображала, это так страшно. Это, не знаю, это такой зрелищный балет.